Hello, and welcome into CHGO Tavern Style, presented by Salerno's Pizza. Head on over to the Grand Avenue location. Call 312-666-3444 to make a reservation today. I'm Herb Lawrence from CHGO White Sox.
I'm Big Dave from CHGO Bulls, pressing off on my phone.
And we haven't ever had one of these conversations. We tried to do a thing out there between two blacks or something like our show being called whatever out there. Whoever,
between the seats.
Oh, between the seats. Between the seats. Still play off of course, the Isley Brothers song.
It's still happening, man.
Between the sheets.
It's still in the works.
It's good to work with you, Dave. But I wanted to talk to you about USA basketball in particular because I watched the NBA playoffs.
Right.
I see Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Canadian. Then I see Jamal Murray, Canadian. Then I see Nikola Jokic from some country, Slovakia. Then I see, thank you, Luka Doncic, Slovenia. Like all these players, the top 4 MVP getters this year.
Yeah.
All foreign-born players. And I'm not that USA guy.
Right, me neither.
But what happened to United States basketball last year in the FIBA World Championships? They didn't finish with the gold.
No.
They didn't finish with the silver.
Yeah, they did.
They didn't finish with the bronze. They finished in 4th place in the championships of basketball.
No.
Created here in America by a Canadian, but created here in America.
Yes.
I'm just wondering why we fall off. How do we fall it off? And how does the United States get back on the top of basketball's rankings?
I think it's a couple things. Well, one, I just think it's natural change. Like, you're going to evolve. Like, and if you want to grow your game, you're going to have to go global.
Yes.
Like, so I get that aspect of it. They've been trying to do that since the 90s, since Tony Kukoc, since, my man, Marciulionis, you know what I mean? Since Jonathan Petrovic, you know, they've been trying to get to these levels. Dino Raja, you know, you can go.
Oh, my God.
Like, you can go far back, like, as far as you want to go. So they've been trying to get to that level. So the game is finally kind of caught up to where these guys are that super skilled and they can show that super skill in the NBA. Part of it also is fundamentals, I think. Like, I don't think here in the States we're as fundamentally sound as we kind of used to be. Of course, I don't want to compare everybody to Michael Jordan, but that was the most fundamentally sound player that I had ever seen. Correct. You know, of course, he did all the cool flying and all that stuff, the athleticism, but he was fundamentally sound. Kobe was very fundamentally sound. Like, you don't really see that a lot anymore from a lot of players. They can shoot and they're athletes. And you know, that's what they kind of lean on and do. And while they're doing kind of the AAU thing, traveling around, like when do they have time to kind of learn that? But overseas, they're learning that for sure.
And that, real quick, just on fundamentals and Americans being bad at fundamentals, Nikola Jokic is from Serbia, not Slovakia. Yes. I'm learning that those are 2 different places.
Yeah, yes, man. Shout out to the DNVR crew who went over there.
Sorry, Serbians.
Yes.
But whatever. You know, this is disappointing because AAU basketball, and I know what was going on when I was a kid, but I think they train the kids of today to be athletes, to get a Division I scholarship, to get into the NBA. And I think that's mostly driven by the parents who choose these AAU teams and coaches to try to get their child into some bigger thing than they're supposed to. I just remember, like, if you were a good basketball player, you probably played some football in the fall, then you played some baseball or some track in the spring, and you had a more well-rounded skill set, and you learn the fundamentals of the game like you were talking about. In Europe, they learn the fundamentals. You see the best player in the game is Nikola Jokic because he does everything correctly. Great passer, great shooter. Doesn't want to do any of these things. He seems bored out there. He's like, are you guys going to play me like this? Cool. I'll do this counter thing and I'll score. And it just seems like American players, we're going to be in trouble. Are we going to be embarrassed out there in Paris, France this summer when we're actually trying to win the gold for the Olympics? I don't want that for this team. And I got to read before that, but I'm so pissed that the American basketball isn't where it was when I was a teenager because there was no person. You're naming all those people. Americans smoked the hell out of them. And Michael took it a personal exception that Tony Kukoc was playing against them, and they shut him down with Scottie Pippen.
And I took that personally.
Stop by Salerno's on Tap, located at 1201 West Grand Avenue in Chicago's West Town, and enjoy tavern-style pizza and ice-cold beers. Whether you're headed to the game, want to watch it on our live big screens, or watching from home, we got you covered. Go to salernospizza.com or call 312-666-3444. Mention CHGO and get what, Dave?
Half, Eddie. 50% off.
off your pizza. So head on over to Salerno'sPizza.com or call 312-666-3444 for more information. Mention CHGO and get half off your pizza. So that is pretty much end of our conversation because I keep on talking. I'm going to choke this microphone like somebody else. But thank you for joining us.
Can I add one more thing? I mean, you brought up the fact that, you got all these big players that used to play basketball and baseball. I remember back in the day when people wanted to serve their country, not only did they go to the Naval Academy, but they also played for the San Antonio Spurs. Paul Skeens needs to get his ass in a gym. This man's going to the Air Force Academy, and he's playing the wrong American sport.
I love that he said back in the day, and I'm like, where are we going? I enjoyed that.
Oh, the Admiral call up. There's always a good time for that.
Always a good thing. And also, but even to the fundamental point, like Joker is incredibly fundamentally sound.
Yeah.
And Luka also, he is a fundamentally sound player. The only exception to the rule, and even Embiid, Embiid's a fundamentally sound guy. But you can say Greek Freak isn't fundamentally sound. He's not. But his nickname is the Greek Freak. He's a freak of nature. We ain't never seen nothing like him before. He doesn't have to be, dog. Like, he's just a ridiculous human being. But honestly, I just really think culture, time, and all those things always kind of catch up. But still, I agree with you because there is no way that we should be losing at basketball overseas ever. Close games, great. You know what I mean? You understand that? I get that. But we should be winning. I expect gold and nothing less when they go over there.
Last question before I leave. Do you guys know who the last American-born MVP of the NBA was?
Steph Curry.
No. It was in 2018.
Oh, wait a minute. It wasn't Steph. I just had this. We just had this discussion.
He's still playing in the league right now.
Dude, I'm mad because I just literally had this discussion.
It can't be LeBron or Kevin Durant.
It's not LeBron or Kevin Durant.
We just had this discussion. I'm going to be mad when he say this
name. Who won
name.
MVP?
It was James Harden.
James Harden, yes.
That was the last American-born MVP. We've had 6 in a row.
Because it was the back and forth between him and Steph for about 3 straight years.
So we need to get back. So Anthony Edwards is all on you because there's nothing in the pipeline otherwise. This draft is trash, and you're our hope, Michael Jordan Jr. So get to it.
Get to work.
We all silly like the mayor.